Hello and welcome to our today's English for journalists and writers class. Yesterday we are discussing about these different aspects of communication. We are talking about words with double meaning. Today we are going to go an extra mile and we are going to discuss about how to write sentences in direct speech or else in indirect speech or else reported speech. And we're going to find that many times you are supposed to communicate either information using the first person narration or else you can communicate using the second person narration or the third person narration. So under direct and indirect speech, you're going to specialize about the change in time. Whereas what happens when you are converting a sentence from direct speech and the same sentence you want to write it by use of indirect speech. So there are different tenses that normally change, and as we say that previously, that when you are converting a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech, there is always change in tense, and more so the tenses always change from the present tense to the past tense form, depending on the nature of the sentence that you are communicating to your readers or to your targeted audiences. So we are going to see different aspects that normally changes in terms of time when you are converting a sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. Just maybe to begin with, let's look at what is going to happen to the word this. For example, maybe someone is writing a sentence by use of direct speech. For example, you can come up with a sentence like Halima said, this is my mango. Halima said, this is my mango. Halima said. So this is in the present tense. Now if you're writing the sentence in the indirect speech or else reported speech, it's going to change. It's going to be converted to be Halima said that was her mango. Instead of saying this is my mango, it will be that was her mango when you are converting from direct to indirect speech. So this changes to that. This is my mango, Halima said. Halima said that was her mango, which means the tenses change from the present tense form into the past tense form. Or else the word like today. Let's say you have a sentence, or else you are having a sentence that is written in direct speech and they're using the word today. We can come up with a sentence, for example, we can construct a sentence, for example, today is my birthday, Halima said. Today is my birthday. So that today is going to change to that day. And it's going to be Halima said that was her birthday. Halima said that was her, that day was her birthday. That day was her birthday. So today changes to that day. Or else the word these changes to those. For example, these are my mangoes. Abdi said that those were her mangoes. Abdi said that those were her mangoes. So these, in the present tense form, in the direct speech form, changes to those. If you are converting the same sentence from direct speech into the indirect speech form. So you must always be very keen when you are converting a sentence from direct speech, which you call the first person narration, to the reported speech, which can either be second person narration or third person narration. The word now changes to then. Now changes to then. For example, someone may say, she has arrived to the city now. She has arrived to the city now. Maybe my mom said. My mom said that she had arrived to the city then. She had arrived to the city then. So now changes to then. Now changes to then when you are converting a sentence from direct speech into the indirect or reported speech. Now is the time I have to go to school, for example. Now is the time I have to go to school. When you are writing in reported speech, it will be that then was the time he was to report to school. Then was the time he was to report to school. So you must always be very attentive and keen when you are converting a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. Whereas the word ago. Ago changes to before. Ago changes to before. For example, someone may say, she came to this town 2 days ago. She came to this town 2 days ago. When you are writing into reported speech, it will be she came to the town 2 days before. She came to the town 2 days before. So ago changes to before if you are writing a sentence from direct into indirect speech. Alright, the last week changes to the previous week or the week before. It changes the previous week or the week before. So for example, someone may say, I have been studying since last week. I have been studying since last week. Osman said she had been studying since the previous week. or else in a week before. So this week or else last week changes to the week before or the previous week if you are converting your sentence from direct to indirect speech. For example, the word here in direct speech changes to the word there. Here changes to there. For example, someone may say, come here, the teacher told the student. Come here, the teacher told the student. It is going to change. The teacher told the student to go there. The teacher told the student to go there. So come here changes to go there. Whereas here changes to there if you are converting a sentence from direct to indirect speech. A word like tomorrow changes to the following day or else a day after. It changes to the following day or a day after. For example, somebody say, tomorrow I'm traveling to Kisumu. Tomorrow I'm traveling to Kisumu. My mom said. It will be, my mom said that she was traveling to Kisumu the following day. My mom said that she was traveling to Kisumu the following day or the next day. So tomorrow changes to the following day or else to the next day. We look, for example, a word like am. Am changes to was. Am is in the present tense form. Was is in the past tense form. I am reading an exercise book. I am reading an exercise book. Tom said. I am reading an exercise book. Tom said. It's going to be converted back to Tom said that he was reading an exercise book. Tom said that he was reading an exercise book. So am changes to was. The same principle applies to word like is changes to was. Is changes to was. She is preparing meal for the visitors. She is preparing meal for the visitors. It's going to be she was preparing meals for the visitors, which means is in the direct speech form changes to was in the past tense form. Still, a word like yesterday changes to the previous day or a day before. The word like yesterday changes the previous day or a day before. For example, someone may say, yesterday I went to the zoo. Yesterday I went to the zoo. The sentence is going to change by saying that he said that the previous day or a day before he went to the zoo. He said that the previous day or a day before he went to the zoo. So yesterday changes to the previous day or a day before. So you must be able to understand the change in time if you want to construct a sentence from direct speech into the indirect speech. And still, maybe just a reminder, if you are coming up with a sentence in direct speech, whenever you open the quotations, you must always begin with the capital letter. And whenever you close, you must always end with the full stop. And must be able to separate direct speech words from what you call the speech tag. Direct speech, the actual word spoken by the speaker. The speech tag are the words that are outside the quotation. So you must be able to punctuate appropriately just before you open and immediately after you close. I hope you are able to contextualize and understand the difference in tenses when you are converting a sentence from direct speech into indirect speech. I do hope you are going to apply this knowledge in the real life situation and you can be able to apply it even in your exam sessions. Thank you for your time. Let's meet next time at the same place. Thank you.